Okay, Philippians 2, imitating Christ's humility. Okay. Philippians 2, chapter 2. No, I'm sorry. Philippians chapter 2. There's no. Is it Philippians 1? Okay, sorry. Okay. Philippians 2, chapter 2. Therefore, if you have any encouragement from being united with Christ, if any comfort from his love, if any common sharing in the Spirit, if any tenderness and compassion, then make my joy complete by being like-minded, having the same love, being one in spirit and one in mind. Rach, put your toy down. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others. I will read that again slowly. It would be valuable to take this to heart. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself. Now, how do we do that? Value others above ourselves. Who would we do that with? Mm-hmm. Is that what you're doing? No? Are you trying? No? It says, it takes humility. What's the opposite of humility?
Pride.
Conceit. Conceit's a derivative of pride, if you will. So he says, selfishness. Now, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. Now listen. You want to be a hero on earth, in life? A hero. You like friends? People that, when they see you, their joy is complete. Rachel's here. This is awesome. Calais here. This is awesome. Having Calais here or Rach is going to make everything better. You want that? That doesn't come accidentally. That comes because you did exactly what he said. Not looking to your own interests, but each of you into the interests of others. You really want to be, and I don't know how to put it a different way, popular. You bring the delight. Do you know what I mean by that? You bring the delight. What's that mean?
You're the person who brings the joy to people.
How do you do that?
What's the joy of the Lord? So through the Spirit.
A lot of it can be genuine, right? Like you genuinely make effort to care about what they care about.
You're not.
No. If you don't, you're always going to be caring about what else? If you're not caring about other people, what are you caring about?
Yourself.
Yep. Not looking to your own interests. That's what Paul says. Let me tell you about that. You know what they call that? Navel gazing. You know what that means, right? Oh, I like that. Rachel doesn't know what it means. Navel gazing? I hope you never grow. Oh, you haven't heard it either. Okay. Well, navel gazing means you just stare. It's metaphor, so you're not really looking at your navel, but you're just looking inward.
You're just gazing at your navel. You're just like staring all over.
You're just thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be. You're just thinking about yourself, about you, all day, every day, day after day, over and it's navel gazing. I don't know who came up with the phrase, but it's a picture of just being centered on yourself. Your navel's the center of your gaze, of your body, so I think it's centered on yourself. Not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. Now, listen, she does that. She looks to the interests of her clients and she cares for them. And she's rewarded. No. It doesn't mean God will not reward you if you take the interest of others to heart. If you please God, He wants to please you. That's the mutual delight of love. But if all you can ever think about is you, me, mine, you become insular. You start getting withdrawn. You start, getting smaller. Your world gets smaller and smaller, tighter and tighter. It gets crunched up, squeezed up. And the beauty that God has intended for you, the beauty to expand your life, to grow you and blow you up, it just disappears, dries up. I mean, think about a fruit tree. Does the fruit tree grow fruit for its own delight? No. The fruit is for the delight of others. And the best fruit trees are valuable. Ones that don't produce fruit, we don't really need them. So, you like the fruit of fruit trees. We eat fruit all the time. It's very expensive, by the way. But the point is, you want to be a fruitful tree. Here's the answer. How do I do that, Dad? How do I do that? How do I be a fruitful tree in the garden of God? Good question. Thanks for asking. Is that your question, Rach? Yeah, thank you. I knew it was. It was on your tip of your brain, wasn't it? How do I be a fruitful tree in the garden of God? That sounds like a book title. Don't look to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. Now listen, you can go, oh, that sounds all nice. And as soon as we're done, the birds of the air will snatch that seed and it won't mean a single thing to you. You wasted it. Your little hard heart is closed up. And you're like, nothing's getting through to me, Dad. Gnarled like an old crone. Clenched, tight, hard-hearted, leather hearts. Excuse me. No. You have to open your heart to the Lord. Lord, I'm sorry. I do look at my own interests all the time. I want to look to the interests of others. I have learned, as of today, to some degree, that giving my daughters rides to their events allows me to spend time with them. And that's the need of another. Look to the interest of others. And the Lord blesses me with maybe a little bit more conversation, interaction, relation. And hopefully, out of that comes some fruitfulness in their life. It saddened me. Today, I took a ride with Trin, up Calais, and Trin, being the good Trin she is, literally didn't have the timing figured out. We'll be there at 8:30 or 9. You're dropping your sister off at 7. What are we doing for an hour and a half to 2 hours? Oh, I guess I didn't think of that. Well, the point is, we got to drive around for a good 45 minutes. And in that time, because I was considering the needs of, because Trinket said, you heard me telling her she had a messy room, right? Her closet is anyway, she could not find clothes and I was getting upset. And she goes, I just don't have to go. She told me that 4 or 5 times. I don't have to go, I'll stay home. Because you can't find appropriate pants or shorts. Just find your shorts. Anyway, long story, it felt like warfare just to get her to this girl's house, to get to the tournament. But I had 45 minutes to talk to her, and I talked to her about her brother, Colton. What a good example. I said, I hope he doesn't become a soy boy. She goes, I don't think he'll be a soy boy. And I talked to her about being a striker on her volleyball team, because she's good. She goes, well, my coach told me he doesn't want me to be a striker, we have other players set for them. Okay, I said, well, if you're going to make varsity, you need to learn how to strike as well. And there's a girls your height that can, she's not very tall, but there's girls your height that strike, so you need to learn to strike. But I also talked to her about being messy. You don't want to be a messy wife, do you? Messy wife, messy life. Happy wife, happy life. Now listen, I'm camping a little long here, but it says not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. He says this is imitating Christ's humility. Stop playing. What are you imitating? Are you looking to the interests of others? Are you sure? Would Christ say you are? In your relationships with one another, have the same mindset as Christ. What is that mindset, Rach?
That you're positive.
That's it? Christ was positive?
And you're happy and you're grateful and you're nice. And
Did you know you can't say those without smiling? It's true. Who being in the very nature of God. Now what does that mean? He was God, the Son, the triune God. In the nature of God. Did not consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage. He came to serve. It doesn't make any sense, Rach. Jesus came to serve. Rather, he made himself nothing. Imagine being stuck on a deserted island with a indigenous tribe, a tribe of islanders that lived in mud huts. And they consider shells the peak of their jewelry. Shells that you and I could pick up on any beach. And they were so proud of their chicken, because they had a chicken. And instead of kind of looking down your nose at him, you're like, I like your mud hut. Did you make this yourself? Well done. In other words, he came to serve. He wants others to feel delighted in their work or to feel special. That's not exactly what I see, but he tries to make each of us feel special in our own way. Why do you think he made a thumbprint and an iris scan unlike anybody else out of 8 billion humans? He wanted you to be one of 8 billion, one of a kind. Now, the one thing your heart cries out for is to feel special, important, different. Well, the person that doesn't live to their own advantage but looks to help to be a blessing to others, they're going to identify what makes that person special. And they're going to make sure that it speaks to them. It's genuine. I bet Christ. And so we are like the mud hut dwellers. He lived in heaven. All the powers, the authorities, the privileges, the rights of God and God the Son in heaven. And he came to this earth during a period, no cars, no phones, no running water. Imagine bathrooms. No electricity, in a desert where it's hot, really hot, dry, dirty, dusty. And he never one time complained. Not a single time. He made himself nothing, but took on the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness, and being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself. Some call this the sevenfold humility of Christ. He humbled himself by becoming obedient. What did he become obedient to? Anybody know?
Humility?
He humbled himself by becoming obedient to death. Even death on a cross. Not just a random death, but a torturous, murderous. By the way, His own people rejected him. They said, send Barabbas. Give him freedom, not Jesus. Jesus should die. Crucify him. They shouted, crucify him. That's a nice word. It's better than hammer, nails, spikes into his hands and to his feet. They didn't say that. Kill him brutally. Look at the screen. It comes out here.
Wow.
Can you hit stop? Hit your button.